Alright. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on a second, like you're going anywhere. Like I'm on the phone or something. See that right there? That, thing there? It's like a porch type thing. Above that. Now, between my place and that building over there is, I don't know, what would you say that is? Let me see, I can tell you exactly almost. It's 10, 20, 20 something feet? No, 30 feet. So that is probably like 50 feet. I'm probably 60 feet. I was a civil engineer, so I trust my ability to eye things. Although I'm not always right. I've fucked up some stuff before. But as long as you don't fuck it up too bad so that the client sues you. But, so I'm close, right? I'm close to it. I open a door, and when I open my door, I see directly across onto the next building. In the next building, there's like a porch. Everyone has their own lanai. So my lanai is directly facing these other people's lanai, or whatever. My door faces their lanai. And in the apartment that I am level with, so that I see everything, there's a couple of Chinese guys. My wife has identified them as Chinese. I can usually tell who is Chinese, who's Korean, who's Japanese. I'm getting better at it. She's helped me figure that out a bit more. So these two Chinese guys, their place is very, very sparsely decorated. Like, not at all. Like, there isn't anything there. And they're always home, right? And one of them stays in the house. They just have like a little black curtain. They have like, out on the back porch, like a rice cooker. Very sparse, very sparse. And all day and all night, except maybe like, I don't see them out there at like 2, 3 in the morning. They're out there. But during the day and all through the night, one of them will walk back and forth on the porch. Just with nothing, no headphones, no nothing on. Just go from one end of the porch to the other end. Turns around, comes back. Turns around, comes back. Turns around. This goes on all day. Then the other one will come out, and he'll do the same thing. I talked to a neighbor that lives there, and she didn't know what I was talking about, because no one can see them except for like me and apartments above me. You can look down on them, but no one has a better view of them than me. And I'm not a nosy neighbor. I don't give a fuck what anybody's doing. The only reason why I end up seeing is because your eyes go to movement. And whenever I open the door, they're out there, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm like, I always just kind of look, glance, and then look away. But we've tried to figure out what the fuck that could be. Like, what is that? Is that like a Chinese soldier? Like, when the invasion happens, he's gonna just jump into action? I don't know. For a while, we're like, maybe it's someone who is disabled, or maybe they're both disabled. It's weird. I don't know what that is. He was just out there now. That's why I brought it up, because like when I walked out, he was just out there. Or I don't know if it's the same guy that does the pacing outside. This has nothing to do with anything. I just think it's weird, and it's one of those mysteries I can't figure out. I don't know. I guess that's that. I've been working on that Instagram killing joke page. I like doing photo editing, and it's been raining a lot lately, so I've been finding myself ducking into the house quite a bit. And I started working on this killing joke Instagram page just for fun, you know. And I was going through some stuff, trying to find images to, you know, put together new pieces and stuff. And I like putting text with, you know, pictures. I try to lay the text over the pictures for stuff. And I found this little interview thing with Jazz Coleman. And he was talking about how he just ignores the wider geopolitical news or things that are happening in the world, period, because it's just enraging and he can't do anything to change it. So instead he focuses on his little world and what he can change. And I've said that so many times. Just thought it was funny. It just jumped out at me. I mean, that's all you can do. The thing is, the more you watch what's happening on the largest stage, the more fucking depressed you're gonna get. Because it's just bad news. I mean, it's made that way. It's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to affect you that way. It's supposed to be bad news. It's always bad news. You know, just bad news. They want you low vibrational, you know? They want you in like a low vibrational state. And low vibrational is, you know, sadness, anger, depression. You become farmable that way. If you were to get higher vibration, you're unfarmable. You know, they can't do anything with you if you're too high up the scale. And the idea, I mean, is for everyone who's tied into the one consciousness that have divinity and that are aware of this situation. The idea is possibly to, I gotta watch this here, people come flying out of here, they're unaware of anything. The idea, I guess, is to eventually get high vibrational enough together to just kind of get out of this place, to get out of this area, you know? Or that's the idea, I believe. And for that end, I think there's enough of us. That's why I always tell people, like, don't worry about waking people up. That's fucking retarded. That was a couple of years ago. That would have been something to do. If you had someone that was likely to want to wake up, you can't do something for people that aren't going to. There's always going to be a group of people, larger than we could probably imagine, as you need to have divinity to wake up. You can't be a system tool. Oh God, where do I go? I gotta slink around in the strangest places, because if I try to go anywhere, I get. Yeah, I got it though. I know how it is out here. I gotta stick and move. The only because I you know, I'm always talking about something crazy. So like, what happens is that people get all around me, and I don't think they're nosy. There's usually not a lot of conversation going on between people, because I don't know. I think, you know. So I end up being the fucking entertainment. But yeah, you need to have a little bit of divinity to begin with, a connection to God, soul, and it's not just a lot of people don't have that. Most people don't have that. We're at a point now where anyone who is going to wake up has woken up. I believe we've reached that critical mass. It's all about reaching critical mass. Critical mass for everyone to be able to vibrate out of this area. You need the majority of us to have reached a certain awareness for that to happen. But as far as getting people to wake up, that's not going to happen. That's done. Anyone that was going to already has. And that's it. That happened a long time ago. So the idea that anyone's going to wake up the normies is just save your energy, you know, save your energy. Take that energy and save it for the like-minded people, and you can exchange ideas and think shop ideas that, you know, can help the current situation now. These are drowning people with very heavy bone mass, and they will make you sink. There's absolutely there's nothing to gain from trying to jump in the water and save them right now. It's sad, because it means you gotta let a lot of people go. You know, people that you've known your whole life, maybe family, maybe friends, you know. You gotta let them go. They're already gone. Not only were they already gone, they were never there. That's the thing you gotta get your fucking head around. They were never there. You were never like them. You know, it wasn't even a case of like, I know in our minds, like, the sort of wake up narrative was that you know, that everyone's got on the ship of fools and sailed off and went. No, they were already on. They were on that boat when you were born. You know, that's what you got to come around to. And when you really get that in your brain, the guilt and the idea that, oh, I'll save someone with this, or this will be the thing that brings, you know, so and so over. You got to get that out of your head. You got to stop trying to save people, because you can't right now. You're gonna hurt yourself doing it. It's over. You know, it's over, Johnny. Those that we're going to have already have, and that's it. That's it. And the reason that's so important to realize and to get in your head is because you can't walk around being guilty, you know, because there is a lot of guilt to it, you know, especially in the beginning when you start having whatever you want to call it, like a spiritual awakening, whatever you like, you know, you want to tell everybody to try to get, you know, because you're like, well, if they knew this, I would want to know, you know. I know so-and-so would never give up trying to get me to whatever the good result is. But it's impossible. It's impossible. It's not a willingness situation. It's an ability situation. They don't have the ability to come over because they're different kind of. It's like trying to, not to, you know, it sounds bad, but it's like trying to get a tree to come over to your side of thinking. It's just, you can't. It's just that they look like you, like they look like people. They look like humans. So you think, well, they must. No, they're not like you. They're very different. When this place was originally set up, the idea, in my opinion, from what I understand, was to learn lessons for the progeny of the divine. That's us. To learn lessons, right? I don't know. For what purpose? Who knows? But these lessons had to be taught interpersonally, so you needed to work them out with other people. But you weren't going to work them out with other people with divinity or other students of the divine. Well, there's really only one. We're all the same person. I know that's another subject. So they had to have people here that we could learn these lessons through. And they had to look like us. So for the express purpose of this test, this training area, there are other people created that were also suits, you know, because this is just a suit. You're in a suit. Your sliver of divinity is in this bodysuit, okay? So they had to have other suits there so that you could have these lessons, like, this person's acting bad, or what do you do if this person needs help, or, you know, how do you feel about... You had to have more, like, quote unquote, people around you, right? But they couldn't be like you. They had to be a tool of the system, of the learning system, of the teaching system, for it to work. You know, because they're teaching you lessons, you're learning your lessons through them. Now, at some point, things changed here. There was a bit of a rebellion. Maybe you heard of it. It was in something that I like to call the Webster's Dictionary. And things were kind of turned on their head. Some of the faculty that had their own awareness and had divinity but weren't actually the students, they flipped the script because they realized, hey, there's a lot of stuff here, right, in this material realm, that if we just fucked around a little bit, we could rule this place and live here forever in the material world as kings and queens. But what you have to do is, instead of worrying about teaching the boss's kid, us, we're just going to suck all their god juice out of them and use that to create this world in our own image, or our own, you know, whatever. So there's no longer a need to teach, you know, but they still have all these resources where they can spawn, in video game terms, all these different NPCs, because it's really what they are, non-player characters. It's funny how that, how right on the nose that is, that saying, you know. But anyway, so they still have the ability to spawn all these people, and that's all the people, most of the people around you. Most of the people around you are those people. System tools. That's why they do whatever the system says. That's why, more often than not, they're an obstacle to you. And they'll try to get you to kowtow to them and move along with their operating system commands, you know? Try to shame you or bully you into acting the way the system wants. They're a tool. They're a system tool. And that's it. They're not coming over here. They're not waking up. They're not, you know. And the hard thing is, like I said earlier, like, it was never possible for them to do so. And these are friends, family. I know you may have emotional connections to them. I do too, you know. I do too. But you have to kind of appreciate what you had from them, what you learned from them, and to realize that any arm across the valley to try to reach them is only going to hurt you. It's only going to hurt you. Everyone that was going to wake up, quote unquote, already have. There's already enough of us. What we have to do is get closer together to each other in mind and attitude, in just get in touch and you know, share information, make our own sort of think tanks. It's already happening. It's happening organically. Just kind of wait it out. You got to wait it out a little bit. But the glow ends don't want you to wait it out. They want you to spurg so that they can come pick you up. And we'll talk about that in a minute too. I just got to pop into Ross. Yeah, they're going heavy on the trying to get people to do something. Via 4chan too. It's like every day it's like, you don't do anything. American males, they're taking everything from you and you're doing nothing. When are you going to do something? It's like, do what? Do what? Run out of our house and, you know, attack Walmart? What are you talking about? They just want you to show yourself. You know, they're trying to get you to show yourself. And that ties into this whole larger push to try to roll back social issues in society a little bit and sort of take the gas off the woke thing, to try to attract people like us, you know, to come out and say, good, I like that they're doing this. And then like, yeah, me too. Where do you live? That's all it is. That's all it is. I'll be out in a little bit though. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.